Hey guys, I'm back with another devlog, and today I want to show off what I've been cooking in the lab. I know it's been a while since I uploaded my last video, but I'm taking my time to develop this game to something that I would actually want to sit down and play. I'm a bit of a picky gamer and even pickier creator. One could even call me a perfectionist, as I work slow to take my time with whatever I'm creating. I always try to push myself and outdo myself when it comes to writing, and in this case, video game development. But enough with the intro, let's dive right into the topic. Here we're taking another look at the battle system. Since this game's main draw is the battle system, obviously, and I have something really cool to show you guys. First, I want to preface everything by saying that everything you're going to see here is still up in the air. It can be heavily altered or outright removed in the final product, but given how hyped this new edition is, I can't see it not making it to the final version. I mean, I ain't trying to brag, but this is some hype stuff here, guys. Alright, so check this out. First, take a look at this unfinished battle UI. And yes, unfinished. Particularly the face portraits on the right here. As you can see, whenever a character or player character is performing an attack of some kind, their status bar slides out and displays a blinking text that says acting. This little message is going to be integral to the player in this battle system change. It indicates whether the characters can actively class change and do other things, but mainly class change. Yes, you heard me right. Class change. Check this out. Zola is currently in her samurai class, right? Now, while she's attacking, which is indicated by the acting message, she can change into one of her other two classes mid-attack with the simple push of a button. Here I'm playing with a controller, so the buttons to change to either class are the page up and page down buttons, which are naturally mapped to the bumpers in the MV engine. So check this out, guys. I found a way to add active class changing to the battle. Yes, that means your class changes with a push of a button, smack dab in the middle of combat. Now, for you wise guys out there saying, yeah, so what, man? There's nothing special, man. Even I can program that into my game. Oh, okay. To be fair, it's not special on its own. But what if I told you guys that each of the class's attacks take on different properties when you switch to the corresponding class mid-attack? Or activating swapping to a specific class grants a buff that when utilized by the other class. So basically, switching a class to a different class will grant a buff. All in real time. So Zola's Nightmare is no longer a turn-based game. It's straight up action now, guys. Alright, so let me break this down. Zola has 3 different classes that each have a different role. The Samurai class, or the Zogan class, is all about power, but it can't raise the combo count very well. Whereas Zola's Blavic Caster class is all about the combos. And let's not forget that she has the Invent Caster class, which is all about healing and keeping her party and herself protected and alive. So when fighting enemies, you want to start out as either the Invent class or the Blavic Caster class, since the hero class can set up a barrier right away to protect herself from any attacks, and the Blavic Caster class can rack up the combos quickly. And yeah, you do all this real time, don't forget. Which to me feels a little nutty for an RPG Maker game. I feel like I'm breaking the engine by doing this, but so far all the systems are running optimally, and I haven't encountered nothing but... I haven't got any game-breaking bugs. Yet. Now, the fun doesn't end there, because, as you can see here, the Zogan class has a move called Uzunagi Strike, which is a power move, or your big damage move. It hits a total of 6 times as the Zogan class, but when we swap to the Blavic Caster class during the move, it hits 3 times a pop, so in total 18 hits. And the damage is scaled down to balance it out. And using this move as the Invent Caster class heals the class for percentage of its HP per hit, but the trade-off is the damage is half. Alright, so Oh, and by the way, the little avatars or monsters popping up at the end of each of the player's attacks, those are nightmares. They're this game's version of equipment. Think of them as basically Persona, except you don't really level them up. Except you can attach essences to them to power them up, but I'll cover the nightmare system in a future devlog. I just want it to be noted here. Now, some of you clever guys out there might be thinking, well, what's the point to switching to a different class mid-attack for a weaker effect when I can just switch or stay in the class that I want to stay in for a stronger effect? Basically, you might be thinking, why don't I just stay in the combo class until I hit the combo count that I want? Because swapping over to a class that's not a combo class and switching back during the attack is not as effective as just staying in the combo class to build meter. So to answer that, it's all about defense. Remember the acting bar indicator I mentioned? Yeah, it's not active while you're dodging enemy attacks. And some classes are better when in defense. The Blavik caster class, the combo class, it's extremely frail. One hit from the enemy, especially if it's a physical attack, can one-shot it. While the Zogan class is kind of tanky, and dodging an attack restores a lot of MP for it too. So this change forces real-time decision-making. Like I said, it's an action game now. Because you may not have noticed, but the turns don't really end anymore. You can't actually select any moves at all from a menu anymore. It just keeps going until the battle is over. I plan on adding a function where if you press a certain button during the acting phase, it will queue up the fight or flee menu when the pseudo turn ends. Like when damage ticks and stuff like that, like for poison ticks or whatever. But no more selecting what attacks you use. And as for items, well, I don't see a point. Not with this new system. Especially with how the nightmares cooking in the back, I don't really see a point for to add items. I do have an idea of how to. I already figured out how to implement them real time, but I want to keep this as streamlined as possible at the moment, and I don't see a need for items. If a character dies mid-battle, oh well. I mean, you better switch to Zola's healing class. If Zola dies, you better tough it out or dip. She probably won't be the only one that can resurrect, but she'll be the best at it, hands down, since her normal attack can res virtually the whole party. Whereas the others, they have to spend resources like mana or have a high combo count to do something like that. And right now, Spirit Shards they're on notice, because they might just get yeeted at this rate, because right now I don't see the need for them. It's all about class optimization and what skills you can bring to the battles. So with that, I'm thinking of getting this update right here, guys. This is still very much rough and in the early stages, but I want to share this with you guys because I think it's really exciting and it shifts the game into its own category. One thing about me is that I always try to produce something people haven't seen before, something original that can only be traced back to me. And with this change, I think I'm one step closer to achieving that goal. So thanks again for tuning in, guys, and if you enjoyed this, leave a like. If you didn't, go kick rocks with no shoes on. Take care, guys.